Okay, dokie, people.
Yeah.
What's happening? What's
How we
happening?
feeling?
How you living? How you feeling? How you darn? Hopefully
How
you've
you
had a
darn?
fantastic start to your week and you are ready for a good stream here tonight.
Pretty
We
sure.
are going to get through as many teams as we possibly can. We're going to try and help them get the right direction for their team. Maybe some tier downs, some tier ups. How we can look towards winning a championship ultimately at some point. So, goal for tonight: help as many people with their dynasty teams as possible. And as always, if you don't know, now you know. If you want your team reviewed by us, just like we're about to do for a bunch of people tonight, it's very simple. All you need to do is become a Motherflocker member with the promo code LAND. That's it. Okay, I would suggest to click the instant access button when you sign up. Otherwise, you just got to wait for your free trial to end for you to be eligible. But just before we dive in case there is anyone out there watching, again, that is the steps. Become a Motherflocker member, use the code LAND. You get everything you see here on your screen. Our rookie report, unlimited access to our trade calculator. You can use our rankings in that trade calculator. You can see our complete rankings. You get to be a part of our Dynasty trade show. You get unlimited access to our Discord channel. You get a DM to us for advice, or even if you just want to say what's up, So we wholeheartedly believe that it's the best package of value we've ever been able to offer. You feel good about your package?
You got to check your tackle. There's a foundation, this is so random. Like Ellen's ex-partner.
Oh God, okay.
His dad had like cancer in his penis.
What is happening right now?
He was part of a foundation. He was part of a foundation called Check Your Tackle. I just thought Check Your Tackle was pretty catchy. Gotta check your tackle.
Is tackle meaning like penis?
Like, you just got like your tackle, like a. I don't know. Just check your tackle.
What is happening right now? Off to a fantastic start. Imagine someone just joined the stream for the first time and they're watching us. Anyway, guys, that is funny. We do have a like goal today of 50 likes. Do us a favor, hit that like button. We see in the chat, Casey's here, McGungle's here. McGungle says, "Is this happening?" And Chase says, "Have faith in our Savior."
Have faith. Check your tackle, boys. It's important.
Zach has a clear frames on, but Aki on the other end has earbuds instead of headphones. It's getting serious. You'll love to see it. But hey, we are excited to dive into some people's teams. We are going to start with Tyler. So if Tyler is in the chat, let us know. Go ahead and read that context out for us if you don't mind, Badaki.
Yeah, give me a second here. I got music in my ear and I need to put on my focus flow.
Yeah,
there we go.
Bro.
All right,
your focus flow.
Tyler, 12-team SuperFlex, half PPR, 1 point per reception, tight end. I'm assuming he's a tight end premium.
So it's a half point premium. Everyone else is half PPR. Tight ends are 1 PPR.
Sure. You can start up to 10. About up to 5 wide receivers. Okay, says I'm new to Dynasty and I'm already hooked. Love that. Welcome to the community. The startup wraps up early March and the league has been quiet ever since. I have the 107 and the 309 in the upcoming rookie draft, and I've also traded my 25 first in a draft trade up to get London at the end of the 4th.
Okay.
Just wondering how you guys think I did in my first draft and how you would attack the draft and other potential moves. I have some ideas, but would love to hear what you guys think. Lastly, should I add? Right.
Caleb Elby should be on every taxi squad in the nation.
Every single one.
My dumbass thought we had this screen up, but we didn't. But anyway, here's the context for Tyler. Tyler, we appreciate you being here. So it sounds like they just did the startup. And he did trade his 25 first for London. I want to know what that entire trade was, if you don't mind it, Tyler. Don't mind telling us what that entire trade was. But all right, 12-team SuperFlex, start 10, half PPR, 1 PPR for tight ends. Let's have a look at his league.
Yeah, Johnny Ace is the name here. It is a tight end premium. Once again, start 10. Looks like a fairly even league here. not too big of gaps in between these teams when it comes down to grades. So that's a good one.
Yeah, that makes sense because they just did their startup, so everyone's relatively close here.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're currently ranked 6th according to Keep Trade Cut. That doesn't really, mean that you're a bad or a good team. But let's have a look through it. Walk us through this team.
Yeah, looking at the quarterbacks here, Jared Goff, Daniel Jones, Derek Carr, Joe Flacco, and the list kind of goes on there. Now, we're pretty big on having a decent running quarterback room.
It's not a strong running quarterback room, is it?
It's not, but things could potentially pan out in your way, right? Look, Derek Carr, let's just say at the 107, all those quarterbacks are gone, hypothetically. You hope that Daniel Jones is going to be the starting quarterback for this team in the future, and they don't draft a quarterback. And then Derek Carr, you also have as just at least an insurance this year. But at the same time, you don't have your 25 first, which is also really difficult here. So we might have to potentially trade some players away to get another QB2. Or you hope at the 107, a JJ McCarthy is there, or whatever that looks like potentially here. So it's not the strongest quarterback room, but I do like Jared Goff as a piece, no doubt about it.
Love Goff. He's an ideal QB2. Betting on Jones and Carr to help you compete is a tough.
It's going to be tough
bet.
No question here. At the running back position, Monty, Pollard, Singletary, and the list kind of goes on there. I like the top 3, no doubt about it. Now, things can change with Devin Singletary if they do draft a running back for the Giants. But at the moment, you have kind of a 1-2 punch. Tony Pollard is in question, no doubt, because we don't know what that we don't know what that Titans backfield is going to look like. So it's going to be a 50-50 workload. Is Tony Pollard going to be more the lead back? Is Tony Pollard going to be the pass catching back? We don't know. But I would say that it's decent right now, not something that you have to stress going into this year, in my personal opinion. Would you agree?
Yeah, no, I agree. It's not a position that we would. I mean, you're probably. I don't know that like a competing team wins with this running back room, but we'll talk about that. And we don't have our first, but that's a different conversation.
At the wide receiver position, you can start up to 5 wide receivers, 3 flex, 2 wide receivers, Jamar Chase, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Drake London, Tyreek Hill, DK Metcalf. So you do have your starting 5 here, but also you have Marvin Mims, Mike Williams, Alec Pierce, and the list kind of goes on. So the depth is not necessarily there, but Marvin Mims could definitely play a role, and so can Mike Williams if everything pans out for those guys. But yes, it is a phenomenal room, having 3 top 10, Chase, Amon-Ra, and Drake, which is fantastic. And then at the tight end position, Dalton Schultz, K. Dalton, and the list goes on there. So,
and we only have the 107 and the 309, by the way, in this draft. So not a lot of capital to improve.
Yeah, looking at this team, it's not terrible. I'm going to have a little gaze at some of these teams up top here. Patrick Mahomes, Will Levis, but he has so many first-round picks. CJ Stroud, Kyler Murray.
Yeah, okay. There is really good balance across your league. Like, no one... There's definitely a couple teams I think are probably competing well this year compared to you, but still, there's no one that's, like, unbeatable. No one is like that kingpin that you just can't imagine beating. But
no, and I think anything can happen when it comes down to a team like this. But I think
I'm gonna go ahead and imagine that we started the draft Jamar Chase in round 1, Amon-Ra St. Brown in round 2, and then I'm wondering what our round 3 pick was. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like,
I think
was it Goff round 3?
Well, I would think it would probably be Drake London round 3.
Well, no, he traded for Drake London with his 25 first. That trade ended up being, by the way, he got the 412, which ended up being London, I think, the 5-1, the 9-1, and he sent away the 511, the 602, and a 25 first. I will say, I don't hate the trade. I just don't know, like, if I send away my 25 first, I'm trying to like feel like, hey, I'm trying to compete right now. And I think you are, but I just don't know that like you're in a position where how do I say this? Like, I'm trying to think about how to describe it. Like, I would just prefer a more rounded team if I made that move.
Yeah, and I think he would have invested in some people earlier rather than later. I am assuming, right? The 412 that could have been Tyreek Hill or London. Sure.
That's actually a good value for London. 412.
But if you think about it, 412 and 5-1, so you got 2 picks back to back at that turn.
That
so
might have been Drake and Tyreek, or maybe
Drake and Tyreek.
Maybe Tyreek was round 3 and Goff was one of those 4th or 5th rounders. But anyway,
yeah.
it is a good team. But the most important position for us when building a SuperFlex team is probably quarterback and then wide receiver. One of those two. You're very strong at wide receiver, but you have some very clear weaknesses at quarterback. So Tyler said quarterbacks were flying off the board, took Goff in the 3rd. So that's tough because if quarterbacks were flying off the board, wide receivers would have been the best value. That's why he took Chase and Amon-Ra. But then you're also in a position where you feel like, oh my God, Goff is the best quarterback available in round 3. So you panic and you take Goff right in round 3. Yep. It's a really tough balance when that happens in a draft. So I get it, but Goff is a very good player in his own right. But looking at this team again, a 12-team SuperFlex start 10. So our starting lineup right now is going to be Jared Goff, Montgomery, Pollard. By the way, we have a lot of Lions here. Jared Goff, Montgomery, Pollard.
True.
We're going to start Chase, Amon-Ra, London, Tyreek, DK for our flex. And then we will start Schultz and Daniel Jones as a super flex. Derek Carr as a super flex. But these two guys are a ticking time bomb. And the issue is we don't have security at quarterback 2 right now. Like this time next year, you could have no quarterback 2 at all. And you could have no first round pick to address it. So I think the number one thing I want to figure out is how to improve quarterback 2. But before we do that, we can look at his draft picks. I think in an ideal world, Badaki, this is JJ McCarthy if JJ goes top 10.
That's the thing. I'm not, 100%. JJ McCarthy at the 107. If he does go top 10. And
or
if he falls.
Drake May if he falls.
Yeah, whichever quarterback falls at the 107, I think you have to prioritize in this build. I guess it just depends on also landing spot. You know, like you're not taking JJ if he goes in the 2nd round. So keep that in mind.
Yeah. I think in order of our preference here, it would be May, McCarthy, assuming they both go top 10. Penix or Nix if they're round 1 picks. Let's say Penix goes to the Broncos or something, right? Or Nix is a Ram or whatever, something random like that. I think you really should consider that. We would already consider that anyway if the draft goes a certain way at the 107. We've talked about that many times in our streams. But if it's not quarterback, you're looking at it is a tight end premium, so I bet Bowers is gone. But Bowers and then Adunze are options. So you're definitely going to improve your team. The 309 is too far away. We don't know. That's just BPA. I have an idea, but I want to know if there's anything else you would do here. Any other suggestions before I...
At the stick and pick, no.
Okay.
That's all.
So
I do have a couple of ideas to maybe improve or maybe tearing down from players if we really wanted to do that. But
the first idea that I had is maybe trading the 107 for a quarterback that's already in the NFL. So let's just let's hypothetically look at that. What could the 107, according to the community, net for us right now? Let's.
This is the most difficult thing because I think the 107.
I thought it was a 109 where things got weird, but I could be wrong. But let's at least look at the idea.
Yeah.
Keep Trade Cut we will reference just because it's the most widely used site, but it will not be a Bible. It will not be the reason we make major decisions whatsoever at all. But let me just let me get a gauge of like the range here. Kyron Williams is there. Let me put it in the calculator. That's going to be easier. So like the 107, are we in like a name that comes to mind would actually be Goff, but
you get what I'm saying? Like probably like Purdy, maybe.
Are we in Purdy range? That would be a great fit. We are in Purdy range to an extent. That's their quarterback 13. Let me look at you're definitely Dak Prescott would be perfect fit for this team actually. See, this is why this makes no sense at all. If Drake May is a consensus top 5 pick right now, wait, does Keep Trade Cut have a Doomsday ahead of him? Okay. If Drake May is a top 5 pick, you're telling me someone's spending a top 5 pick for Ayuk or Prescott? Anyway, I could be wrong. So the range of quarterbacks there that we want to try and get is a Dak Prescott. I would say, I think Trevor Lawrence is probably unrealistic, but I'll add him there. Brock Purdy. How about Tua? I think I'd feel good about Tua.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just having a look. Sorry.
Is there another name you'd add there? Probably not. I wouldn't go down to like a Baker.
Rice or Baker. Kirk Cousins.
So
I think you're very limited.
Why don't we look at those teams maybe that have those players?
All right, I'm trying to find.
And Tyler, talk to us about what, as we're going, tell us if something feels unrealistic or not. He says, I explored Dak and Purdy for the 107 and no luck. So let's look at like a Trevor trade. Who has Trevor Lawrence?
Trying to find it right now. Trevor Lawrence, team 8, the chairman.
I also want to explore the idea of Kirk Cousins plus something, by the way, if we can do that later. But the chairman, teammate.
Yeah, teammate.
Okay, what are you thinking here? What stands out?
I don't know if I want to trade for one of these quarterbacks. That's my initial thought, personally.
Okay. Well, let me roll with this then, and then you can add some input there.
Yeah.
T-Law would be a fantastic addition to this team. Yes, I am Team Trevor, if you will. I've been Team Trevor for a minute. But I think it's going to cost obviously more than the 107. But in my mind, there is wiggle room here because plenty of people do not like Trevor Lawrence. There's plenty of people out there who are not in on him. They have major concerns. So, like, I'd add Daniel Jones. Would that even, like, start the conversation for us, according to Keep Trade Cut? Okay, so they say that's a fair trade. That would be the easiest no-brainer ever, in my mind, to go out and get a deal like that done. I personally have no concerns of Trevor Lawrence being a long-term quarterback for the franchise. I know, obviously I am sometimes alone in that thought, but I feel very good about that as a starting point. I would even make it Derek Carr, by the way, if I needed to.
Sure.
I think there's a lot more security. There's a lot more longevity there, in my personal opinion. I don't think you're getting the Trevor Lawrence at the 107. It's just not happening. But the 107 plus Daniel Jones for Trevor Lawrence. We can look at Tua. I think Tua is probably like that range where you don't have to pay more than the 107. And maybe you want to wait until after the draft. But what I would say is if Tua gets an extension, they say that's a fair trade straight up. I think that's a perfect fit as your quarterback too. If Tua gets an extension, there is just no way that you're getting him for the 107 anymore. If Tua gets a 4 or 5 year deal and he's staying with Tyreek and Waddle during that time, he will be more expensive than the 107. Tyler says, I've been working on something with the chairman for Lawrence. So, hey, that's there's a get your foot in the door and see what happens. I think Tua is definitely eligible here. I talked about Kirk Cousins. Obviously, we wouldn't pay the 107 straight up for Kirk Cousins, but I want something in return. So let me see who has the Kirk Cousins in this league. Bryce Young's interesting too. The guy who has Kirk Cousins also has Baker Mayfield, so I think he would be open to having a conversation. What if I could do something like a Kirk Cousins, the 107 for Kirk Cousins and Josh Jacobs, and I will give you the 107 and Tony Pollard. That might kill 2 birds with 1 stone there. I wonder what Keep Trade Cut would say about that. 107 and Pollard. You're going to give me Cousins and Jacobs. So they say that you could actually get more in return. So what if we made that Devin Singletary instead? If you can get that deal done, to me, that's a huge no-brainer. For your roster, a team that you want to compete right now, you're a little weak at running back too. You get a Josh Jacobs. I know there's some concern around the contract, but getting a Josh Jacobs or Kirk Cousins, I just don't think you're going to extract that kind of value out of the 107. You could hit on one player, but I don't think you're going to hit like that. All of a sudden, Tony Pollard, you're running back 3 there. I like that idea. We could also look at going the wide receiver route instead if you prefer. Or actually, I like a pick swap here too. So like the 107, I want Kirk Cousins, and I want your 25 first, and I'll give you my 25 second, for example. A pick swap is what we'd be looking to do there. So I'll give you my 2025 mid second. I want your mid first, just as an example there. So that looks reasonable. There are some reasonable ways to improve your roster there. And I think, sorry, I don't want to take up too much time, but I also just want to quickly explore a Bryce Young deal. I think it's probably similar territory, actually, as the Kirk Cousins deal. I actually think that's probably similar territory there. I believe in Bryce Young. I know not everybody does. I think I've really enjoyed the moves that they've made. I like the offensive coordinator now, the head coach that's coming in. I think he's going to have a long leash to improve. So those are a lot of deals that I would explore. I think my favorite is the Trevor Lawrence deal. My second favorite is probably the Kirk Cousins, Josh Jacobs deal. But all those deals I would personally look at. What's some ideas that you had there?
So
maybe not trading the 107, but what were you thinking?
Yeah, my idea is not trading the 107. I think I want to keep the 107.
Okay.
And I'm really big. I think the wide receiver room is pretty good, but I think you have the ability to tier down. I think we can agree that you're not a competing team, but like you could potentially be a competing team. But I'm happy to move from any of the guys that can do. I can get a 2-for-1 type of deal that we can potentially see here. So obviously the guy that can bring you the most value. So let's start with Jamar Chase. Now you don't have to do any of these trades, but just starting a conversation, starting to open the door. Jamar Chase, can you get the 102 and lower and have a lower tier, right? Let's look at the 102 here. What team has the 102? Trying to find that guy here. 102, maybe even 103. Beside the 103, the team 1. He has the 103 and the 104. He has someone like a Jordan Addison. I'm happy to tier down. Maybe that's not enough for you, or maybe you can get the 103 plus. I don't know if I absolutely love that trade, but that's maybe my greediness coming out. But can I get Jamar Chase or send Jamar Chase and get the 103 and Jordan Addison tiering down? That not only is that going to secure your quarterback, that's you keeping the 107 and you replacing your wide receiver. Yes, it may not be a Jamar Chase type of talent or a proven talent, but that is something that you could potentially do here at the 103, or the 104. But the 104, you would need more than just Jordan Addison, I would say. Maybe they can throw in the 104, Jordan Addison, and you know what? Throw the 112 in. Once again, maybe that's my greediness. Maybe that's way too much, or maybe the 111. That is something that I'm willing to do here. That's, for example, team 1. I'll look for the team that has the 102 here, because 102 can be intriguing. 102, is this a natural pivot? This could be an interesting pivot here. Can I get the 102 and Jalen Waddle for team 9, the Continental? He has Joe Burrow. He probably wants to stack. Can I get Jalen Waddle in the 102? And then once again, you're going to get your quarterback there, or potentially you can get Marvin Harrison Jr.
I need to pay a little more to get that Waddle trade done, though.
Sure. So that is a move that you could potentially do, 2-for-1s here. And I think the same can be said here for someone like a Drake London. Drake London is really, really high in the community right now. A lot of people are loving his value. He's currently the wide receiver 10 in the fantasy community, and that's with rookies, right? So I think he might be like wide receiver 8 or 7 If I have a look here in the rookie rankings, let's just have a look here. Pulling that up. There's 1, 2 wide receivers. So he'll be the wide receiver 8 in the community right now without. That can also be a similar one. You could swap that out like we've seen with the 103 or the 104. I think once again, you'll probably need to, skew with it a little bit. Can I get the 103 and Jordan Addison? Can I get the 103? I think that's the only one I can think of that I like in that team is Jordan Addison. Now I'm just looking for another one here. Yep. The 101. Who has the 101? 101 could be interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
101's tough to acquire, though. I mean, I just know the one that I have it in, it's very difficult to
101
acquire.
Is tough. But I think
also, I don't think people are thinking London in the 101.
No. I was going to go back to Chase. There.
Oh, Chase. 101 plus T. Higgins, but you need to give something else back.
Well, I'm happy to send like it's 101.
You need to get something serious back in return.
Yeah, exactly. I need to get something serious. So I don't think it may not be worth it in that scenario there. And once again, you're getting a quarterback and you still have a wide receiver that you're going to be acquiring here. You are losing one of those wide receivers, but then you just once again emphasize that quarterback, and you're going to get a top 3 quarterback in this NFL draft class, which is exciting. So I'm more interested in moving and pivoting the wide receiver. If I can, any one of these guys that give me the most value, whether that's Jamar, Drake, Amon-Ra, or Tyreek. Now, I do like Zach's trades where you could potentially move him, but I just feel like if I can acquire my foundational quarterbacks rather than like a Band-Aid, and not saying like Dak Prescott's or the Brock Purdy's are Band-Aids, I think I just want the guys that I'm going to be setting and forgetting for the next 10 years when it comes out to the Caleb Williams or Drake Mays. That's how I'm seeing it.
I'd also be willing to, if we're moving Chase, I would be open to a deal where I get Kyler Murray. I think we can get more than Kyler Murray based off what I've seen. Kyler Murray and the 106. I'll give you the 107, and we need to figure out something else here. Let me look at this team, because right now his best wide receiver is Devontae Adams. I think he would be open to at least having a conversation there. But how about like a Derrick Henry as well? Give me Derrick, because we're trying to compete, and I will give you Tony Pollard. I wonder what that would look like in a trade calculator. That's a big one. But I think that kills a lot of birds with a lot of stones, and we move up.
You move up a spot, and then you get another running back.
What was that? Read it to me, Chase.
It was Chase, the 107 for Kyler.
Pollard.
And Pollard for Kyler, Kyler, Derrick Henry, and the 106.
Yeah, I was going to try and put Saquon in there, but felt a little unrealistic. Okay, well, they say you can go higher. Wow. Is this real? This doesn't feel realistic to me. Okay, if that's possible. That doesn't feel possible to me, but is that really possible?
Try it, I guess.
Okay.
They have Chase significantly higher, though, Kyler Murray outside. What's he in the community? Outside the top 10.
Quarterback 11. That's crazy. Okay.
Yeah. Chase is top 3, so I think they're really valuing top 3 there.
I mean,
rather than Kyler.
Even if you can add like that 207, do another. If this is possible, like I would take this. But if you're telling me I can stretch it out even more, I want to do a pick swap of that third that I have for your second, the 309. And he has a 207, I think that team does. But to be honest, Keep Trade Cuts values, I'll be honest with you, they've been so bad lately. So we don't know exactly what's possible. But again, we know this is the most widely used calculator. That's why we are throwing these ideas out there. I had a trade in our Delta League. I sent it to Crank Statham. And I was trying to tear down from CJ Stroud. And it was to Jordan Love, and the trade that Keep Trade Cut said was even. I was like, you are joking. But I sent it anyway, and he was like, there's no way I would take this. I said, I agree. It's a stupid trade. But I didn't know if you liked Keep Trade Cut, you know? So there are certain people who use it as a Bible, right?
Some people do.
And they will only say yes if they win. And if you have to do this deal where it says that the other guy's winning to get it done, I would do it. But this is like a team-altering deal.
Yeah, because you get rid of Chase, but like you have the 106, who I feel the 106 is going to easily be
a Dunze.
A Dunze. You get a running back that you tier up to, and you get your quarterback. So
and you tier up into the second round. That's crazy that Keep Trade Cut says that's possible, guys. The best thing you can do in Dynasty is abuse Keep Trade Cut, just like Chase said. You gotta do it as much as you can. So that's definitely an option there. You got a lot of options here, man. I feel like we've gone hard for you here. But
yeah,
Chase, the main pieces there, I think, on your team that we can use is Chase. You know, those same deals that we talked about for Chase, you could throw a Monra there. Because in my rankings, they're in the same tier. So put a Monra in all those deals as well. Might be better for you to move a Monra so you're not so lion heavy.
True.
But we're not really looking at tearing down from any of these quarterbacks, any of these running backs. So we really have explored all the options, I think, here. I want Tyler, though, tell us in the chat. We want to give you some time. What did we not cover maybe that you wanted us to cover? Or do you feel good? Is there anything else that you wanted us to talk about? I think Tyreek Hill should probably retire on this team. I think you should go out and try and compete. I don't mind the idea of moving DK, but the issue is he's not. That's the move I was making last offseason when he was like a top 12 Dynasty wide receiver. He's no longer viewed that way in the community, so his value has really evened out. It's kind of plateaued to where he should be.
Yeah, but in the community, though, if you can pivot off of DK, I would. You know, like I think we would both agree Rasheed Rice is somebody we would pivot to. Tank Dell, he was somebody
if I could get extra.
Yeah.
Like Metcalf for Rice plus
those are guys that are lower than DK on Keep Trade Cut.
Who has Rice? Let's explore that for a sec before we move on to the next team. Rice is team 5.
The bums.
That's a tough. There's not really a.
I mean, look, that is just somebody that you could be like, how you feel about Rasheed Rice? So I don't like him. You like DK? All right, you know, I'll even do even swap type trade.
I would do like plus Alvin Kamara for this team. Right, like a deal like that.
Sure.
He says he's been having trouble selling DK, which I get.
Sure, yeah. Makes sense.
Tyler says potential trade with Chairman would be Lawrence and Olave for London and the 107 and Mims. That's the easiest yes I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, Lawrence and Olave for London and the 107 and Mims. 100%. You get another wide receiver, and you get your quarterback. So you're not really hurting. But you do get rid of the 107, so you won't have any.
Why is he okay with that? So sorry, you get Lawrence and Olave.
Remember, this is a new Dynasty League.
What the hell? Am I?
He says NFL draft dependent. So NFL draft dependent in what way? Like depending on who goes with the 107.
Dude, this is a beautiful trade. If you can get that done.
I think a good quarterback would have to be there for the move, I think. So okay, at the 107, he's thinking.
Okay.
Well, if that's the case, like if what's a good quarterback to him, JJ McCarthy or Drake May, I would rather have specifically Drake May over Trevor. For me at this moment, before him going into the NFL. But
Drake May, what's the chance? I would say the chances of him falling to the 107 is like 3%. It's not very high.
Yeah. No, and then but like, would you rather have Trevor Lawrence or JJ McCarthy on the Vikings? Because I think that's going to be like, if that is truly what happens in the NFL draft, I think then we question whether it's like, dang, should we take a chance on
here's
JJ?
The thing. In my opinion, if JJ actually does go to the Vikings, it means they moved up. and that means he is no longer available at the 107. Like, let's be honest. If JJ is a Viking and he goes top 5, there's no way he's at the 107 in Superflex leagues. So someone gets pushed down. I guess you have to ask the question.
Well, that's the thing. Like who
It's like a Dunze Bauer at that point. That's the best.
Yeah, the wide receiver gets pushed down, which I don't know. I guess it just depends. I would say this: if it is dependent, and hypothetically it is JJ Tyler at the 107, and he hypothetically goes to the Minnesota Vikings, and he somehow falls at the 107. Right now, I'm telling you, I would rather have JJ over Trevor Lawrence based off of the team he's landed with. Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson.
There's definitely like a reason to feel that way. I think that's completely fair, but I kind of lean with Chase. Like, I know what Trevor is. That's where I kind of lean, because I already know
that's fair.
What he's going to give me. I know his floor.
And that's fair. Like, look, I think it comes down to each person and each player.
Like I said, JJ's not going to last at the 107 if he's truly a Viking. We got to be honest. So, Tyler, let us know if there's any other questions that we did not answer, but we threw a bunch of ideas your way, and I definitely think this team should be competing. You're like 2 moves away. If you make 3 of these moves that we just talked about, you're competing. Would you agree?
Yeah. 100% if you get those moves done.
I am going to send this to you over on the Discord, Tyler. You're Tyler Shooty, right? I'm trying to make sure, because we have a couple Tylers. I want to make sure I send it to the right person. Let me double check. Yeah, you are Tyler Shooty. I'm gonna send this to you.
Shooty.
Okay, so I just sent you that whiteboard. But yeah, like I said, we'll give you another 30 seconds here. Let us know if you have any last-minute questions. We'll move on to the next team. Heads up to everyone on the live stream. We have a like goal today of 50 likes. With your help, I think we can get there. We're already halfway there with 27, so do us a favor, hit that like button. Tyler says, good stuff. I'm hoping to not have to tear down with Chase and Amon-Ra, but will if I have to. I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
That makes a lot of sense. But we appreciate you, man. Thanks for the support. Thanks for the love. We will move on to the next team, but anyone watching who wants their team reviewed by us, it's very simple. All you got to do is become a Motherflocker member with the promo code LAND. I just put a direct link in the chat. But again, Motherflocker member with the code LAND. When you sign up, I would suggest clicking instant access so you don't have to wait for your trial to end for you to be eligible for a team review. But when you sign up, go to your account at the top right, link your Discord, and once you have done that, you will see all of the premium Discord channels that we offer, including the roster submissions tab, just like Tyler submitted here. MattyIce is the next team here.
MattyIce. Appreciate you, Matty. Thank you so much. Been a huge supporter of the channel.
Yeah.
And we're looking at this team here, so I'll go ahead and break this down. 12 team, tight end premium, 1 point per reception is a start 10. You start up to 5 wide receivers. I love this team, and it was a product. It was a product of me wanting to draft a pretty young team off the start and acquiring picks via trades back in the startup.
Okay, nice.
I have a lot of draft capital in this year's draft, and I want to know your thoughts. Nobody has entertained pick trades to this point yet, so likely I'll have to stick and pick. But who knows? I'm not very knowledgeable on who would be worth taking in the second round, and I'll love your thoughts on whether it's worth trading those picks for players or sticking with some guys available. I had to trade my 25 first to move up 2 rounds in the startup to get Stroud, so that isn't available either. Okay, well, I think that maybe have worked out for you that you got Stroud. Maybe this was before last year.
Sorry, I'm looking at his nicknames. Do you see the Jahmyr Gibbs nickname?
Let me see. I clicked out of it. Yeah, love that.
Incredible.
I love it from MattyIce, man. Let's have a look at this team. 2019 Miami Dolphins is his team name. He's currently ranked number 1. He is Thanos, according to this.
Yeah.
99. And then you have the next team in 80. Quarterbacks here. CJ Stroud, Brock Purdy, Jacoby Brissett. Great quarterback room so far. We always like to say we would like to have that third quarterback for insurance that could potentially, where you could potentially get in your draft picks, or if you don't want to go that route, you should definitely acquire somebody on the low. Maybe that's a Geno Smith. Maybe that's a Daniel Jones. Maybe that's a Derek Carr. Somebody that's not going to break the bank, but you're just going to have as insurance. Maybe Matthew Stafford, Aaron Rodgers, whatever that looks like. Either way, quarterback room alone right now is pretty strong. The running back room, you have Jahmyr Gibbs, Kyron Ridley, Rashad Wright, Jerome Ford. Phenomenal room. You don't have to move anything there.
Well, we will talk about these two names.
Yes.
We literally just recorded a video about these two specific running backs. So we'll talk about 100%. That in a second. But yeah, good room.
At the wide receiver room here, remember you can start it to 5. So Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, Tank Dell, Richie Rich. And then you have Rome, Dotson, Curtis Samuel. So some guys that we do like. I mean, I love Curtis. I like Jahan.
Yeah.
Romeo Dobbs is somebody that definitely plays a role. And at the tight end position, 2 guys we like. I mean, I both love coming into this year. Dalton Kincaid and Cole Kmet.
Love Kincaid. I couldn't care less about Kmet.
Yeah. Whatever. Anyways.
We'll fight about that till the end of the day.
Your picks are phenomenal. You have 2 picks in the top, top 7, which is great. And you kind of already mentioned that nobody wants to trade here. And as Zach is kind of getting this whiteboard set up here.
He has 2 26 firsts, but no 25 first.
Yeah, no 25 first.
Don't see a 25 second unless I'm mistaken.
No. Yes, I see a 25 second.
Oh, you do?
From,
okay.
Not his, Pickles.
Oh, okay.
Or Pickettburg.
So ideally, we don't, even though we have a young team, we don't really want to spend this year rebuilding. There really is no reason for us not to try and compete this year, considering we don't really have our first round pick. The most valuable pick that we would own would not be ours, right? So
sure.
I think just from the get-go, there's no reason not to compete this year if things pan out your way. But yeah, let's get these picks together. We're good to go.
Yeah.
How would you stick and pick here? He's saying stick and pick. How would you do a stick and pick with this team?
Yeah, 105 here. Let's start off obviously there. I always close it at the wrong time. 105, obviously that could be a quarterback or a wide receiver here. You can think of someone like potentially a Malik Neighbors that could potentially fall to you, and or Drake May or Jaden Daniels. So Drake May, Rome Odunze, Jaden Daniels, I would say could potentially land within that top 5 picks. Just depending on how your draft is going to pan out there. So those are the 3 guys I would say you could potentially have. I would also throw Brock Bowers in there. This is a tight end premium. Now remembering, if I'm not mistaken. Brock Bowers could also be within that top 5 pick.
Would you take him over those names?
No, I wouldn't. But I'm just saying.
So 106 maybe.
Yeah, the 106. So Brock Bowers would definitely be at the 106. JJ McCarthy if he goes to the Vikings. Right. That's what I would say. 106, JJ McCarthy, Brock Bowers, maybe Rome Odunze as well.
Yeah, whichever one of those names fall, you could consider. I mean, let's say McCarthy, let's say he actually does go at the 104 because he's a Viking. All of a sudden, you can get Neighbors and Daniels, Neighbors and May at those picks. But I think when I look at his team, I wouldn't be swayed either way. Truly, like it truly is BPA. I don't feel like you need Brock Bowers, but that doesn't mean we don't. If he's the best player available, we could go that way. But to me, if it's Neighbors, if I get a combination of Neighbors, May, if I get a combination of Neighbors, McCarthy, Daniels, and Odunze, like I think that we are adding 2 pieces that are really going to improve our team and 2 pieces that are needed. You know, our wide receiver room is good, but we are lacking that last little beef to really go out and compete this year. That could be in Odunze and Neighbors. Our quarterback 3 is a barren spot. So
I think every hole that you have here is going to be filled even with your picks alone.
Your picks are going to fill your holes.
I mean, shout out to
we will. Your holes are going to get filled.
Your holes are going to get filled if you check your tackle. Yeah, so yes, if you think about it, at the 105, you get a quarterback. At the 106, you get a wide receiver that you're waiting for. At the 109, that could be another wide receiver. Adonai Mitchell.
What if Bowers falls, you know?
What if Bowers falls? Yeah. I mean, Bowers can be there. So at the 109, but yes, you have the 109, Bauer, Adonai Mitchell, Lam McConkey, The list can honestly go on there at the 109. The same could be said at the 111, depending on the running back room as well, which we'll definitely get into now. If Trey Benson or Jonathan Brooks get a second-round draft capital, I think you can definitely start to look at one of those running backs at the 111. And then best player available, I would say in the second rounds, right? And that can be you're my guys. Right, your Jalen McMillan, your Ricky Pearsall, your Roman Wilsons, your Malachi Corley, your Xavier Worthies if they fall. Maybe that's too far down. But you get one of those guys. You can talk about Xavier Legette. You can think about some of these running backs and Blake Corum, Isaac Horrendo, Marshawn Lloyd. The list goes on when it comes down to the 206 to the 311 there.
By the way, we always tell people this, but man, I'm so excited for what our final rookie report is going to look like over on the site. I just think it's going to be the best that you can find anywhere. But this is what our rookie report looks like right now. Okay, anyone who is a Mother Flocker member with the promo code LAND has access to this, as well as the Dynasty team review. And oftentimes people will say, well, who's the best player available then? Like you say go best player available with these late picks. Well, what people have done in the past, we used to have it like on a spreadsheet, and people sometimes would print it off and they go into their rookie drafts and they would old school. I think that's a fun way to do it. Old school, as you go, right? Draw scribble out the names that have been drafted. But as soon as the draft is over, like before you're at your rookie draft, you will have my SuperFlex rankings that are updated, my one quarterback, same with Badaki's. So you can cross those players off as you go. I mean, you can see Badaki's BPA and mine and make the decision for yourself, right?
Yeah. I was going to say what we can do is like, I was thinking about doing each, and it's going to be a lot of work, but having each individual page for those people that do that. Like wide receiver, quarterback. It's not going to be that crazy. Or like we'll break it down into sections.
You mean like individual positions?
Yeah, so it would just be it'll be all on one page, and then it would be like quarterback.
Well, yeah, you wouldn't have to separate that into one quarterback or superflex, so that definitely makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so it's just going to be good.
And by the way, sorry to interrupt. He said his league isn't very open to trading. That's completely fine because this stick and pick is like always. This is working out for you, no matter how the draft plays out. The stick and pick is really working out for you.
Yeah. Completely agree.
Case says, any way to ask the devs for a CVS download option? That way we can load it into Sheets Excel. Is there not an option? There is. Look, download CVS.
There is. Yeah.
We will also update it, by the way, on, you see where it says prospects here, Casey? I need to update this. Sorry, we haven't updated that in a minute, but I promise you, after the NFL draft, not only will it be on our rookie report, it will also be here. In one quarterback and in Superflex, you can click on prospects and there will be a filter for you to choose my name or Badaki's name. And then there's that download CSV button if you want to upload it to a spreadsheet yourself too. So that's an option.
Yeah.
But I think
you just test it out now, Casey, and let us know if it works. And if not, you can hopefully get it fixed before the NFL draft or your rookie drafts.
I think what I would probably, the first thing I thought of when I saw this team is pivoting off certain running backs. Kyron Williams, it's not that we don't like him, and Rachaad White. All right. For different reasons, I'm not going to sit here and say like these guys won't be as valuable this year as they were last year. But there are certain reasons that lead me to believe that I would like to pivot off of them for things that I feel more secure in. And we can talk about what that looks like. Let's start with Kyron Williams.
Yeah. Currently RB6 in the community. Keep that in mind.
And Twitter version of why we are concerned. Simply put, Sean McVay has a long history of recycling running backs, of late round picks being huge values in his team. No one was really battling Kyron for usage last year, and our concern is just simply that there has been a trend here over 4, 5, 6 years where Sean McVay recycles players. He never drafted Todd Gurley. He was given Todd Gurley, but since he was there, all the running backs that he's drafted, it's been a recycle. He hasn't had a back-to-back 1,000-yard rusher since 2017, 2018. He hasn't had a rusher repeat as a team's leading rusher since 2019. So there is just some reasons that we are concerned, and we would like to pivot to a name we feel more solidified about.
The Twitter version of that, by the way.
Yeah, that's a long
I'm
tweet.
joking.
That's a thread.
It was a long tweet. That was a.
Doesn't mean he has to feel the same way though. If you feel confident in Kyren, doesn't mean you have to move him.
Yeah, 100%. Which that video will be coming out early next week, I'm pretty sure, for you guys. So stay tuned for that. But yes, pivot options. Once again, Kyren Williams currently in community RB6. That's actually moved up one spot since we recorded this video. Now looking at it, but if we can stay in that same tier, can you get a Travis Etienne? Can you get a Saquon Barkley? Can you go up to get a Jonathan Taylor? People love the youth in some of these running backs. Kyren Williams, 23 years old. Can you send Kyren Williams plus something to get maybe a Christian McCaffrey because you're competing? I don't know if you want to go like that, but just starting the conversation. Let's open it up. Let's see what a Matty Ice would like to do in this situation here. I don't think Matty Ice is with us, but Matty Ice, you can definitely, as you're watching this, send us a message and say, hey, I kind of like this trade. I was thinking about it. I sent this trade offer.
Let's start just with picks. If you can get any top 6 pick in the draft, you take it. No questions asked. I don't care who it's from. I don't care what their roster looks like. We'll take that. Etienne and Barkley, I totally like that idea, but I think based off the community rankings and trades we've seen, you could get a plus on top of those. Why don't we start with those names, Etienne and Barkley? And so the guy, Team 3 has Saquon Barkley. Like, for example, I would go Saquon. I think I'd like to get more capital. To me, I'd like to get more capital in the 2025 class. I think it's an underrated class. So can you give me Saquon plus your 25 first? I'll give you Kyren plus the 25 second that I have. What would Keep Trade Cut say about that with their calculator? Would they say that's a move people would do? I'd like to see before we move on. I want to see like the gauge, if you will.
Yeah, let me see.
Okay, so it's a little imbalanced, but of course I'd be willing to do that. Let's get a little more realistic then. Kyren for Saquon. Even a pick swap, because this guy has a 108. Yeah,
that's what I was saying. What if we swap him? 108, 109, or right. We have later picks.
Let's send the 206 and the 209.
Well, what if we just get like Saquon and then like the 204? Is that too much?
Kyren, so
because Kyren is technically higher than Saquon.
Okay,
Saquon's
right. You're
older.
saying just the 204 and Saquon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that might.
I would do that.
According to Keep Trade Cut, I guess actually no, that's really skewed.
I would definitely do that if it's possible.
Yeah.
But even like a another idea is Kyren and the 108, and I'll give you the 206, 209.
Sure.
I don't know how you feel about that, but
yeah, I'm okay with that.
Just kind of getting into that range where we feel a little bit better about the players there. Was that the 108?
Yeah.
So they say that's a fair trade. I'd do that in a heartbeat. Some of these might not happen, but it's just, again, all about opening a door, starting a conversation, and seeing what's possible. We also talked about Kyren for Etienne. We talked about, so let's see who the Etienne owner is. Try and find that for me with me. Team 4.
Team 4, okay. There you go.
Team 4. I feel like Reed is sticking out to me. What about Laporta? We already have Kincaid.
We have Kincaid, yeah. Yeah, we try Etienne and Reed for Kyren and maybe like a second, one of his seconds. See if that works.
And you can send Kyren and like the 206.
Maybe that works for the community there.
So that's not without without question. You might have to pivot a little bit, but that's an option for you. ETN plus, who else does this guy have? I mean, you could go even harder if you wanted. You could use Kyron to get Bijan. That's really interesting to me. Kyron plus what equals Bijan? Kyron plus the 109.
It'd probably be a first, yeah, the 109.
Would that get us in the room? Will that get us a ticket to the show? I don't know if it would. You're kidding me. Okay, well, apparently that's possible.
There you go. Even trade.
Ridiculous. So yeah, that's definitely something we'd be willing to do. Other names, I'm trying to think of other names that I'd be willing to like pivot to.
Look, this is what I would say.
How about HN?
I'm not the biggest fan of HN.
Let me say my piece then. HN.
For sure.
Can you help me find him? I would definitely pivot to HN if it's possible.
Devon is in
Team 7.
Yeah, Team 7. There you go.
So I want to get HN in Amon-Ra somehow. How can we make that happen? Okay, how about something like this? Kyron, HN plus Amon-Ra St. Brown. I'll give you Kyron and Chris Olave. Would that get us in the door there? I wouldn't do that deal, but I would send it.
Right.
Kyron plus, what did I say? Olave. And we're trying to get HN and Amon-Ra. Okay, so we add the 206 to this deal. I would even add the 209. I don't know about you. 206 and the 209.
Okay.
I would do it. Doesn't mean everyone would. Doesn't mean you have to. If it's possible, I would definitely do that.
Let's try that.
All right, so that's Kyron. How about White? Rachaad White's not going to give you the same return. Actually, you talked about, you mentioned tiering up to JT. What would you pay to tier up to JT before?
Well, I actually think that would probably be an even trade. You know, once again, according to the community, can I send Kyron for a straight swap for Jonathan Taylor, even if I had to throw my second in to get it done? Can I throw in one of my late seconds that I have? Can I throw in 209 or the 206 to get it done to get Jonathan Taylor?
They're saying
feels a lot more confident.
They're saying the 306 gets it done.
Sure. So the 306. And send him that screenshot saying that you're losing as well, and then he's gonna be like, "Okay, I'll take that trade."
Or he might say, "Keep trade cut sucks. Give me your second," and you say, "That's fine. Let's do that."
That's fine as well. So that's basically what where I was gonna go with Jonathan Taylor there. But I'm okay to tier up or like pay more to get one of those guys. You know, I'm okay to send both of my seconds. Let's say Kyron and send both of my seconds, which I doubt is possible, to get someone like a Jahmyr Gibbs, or send the 109. Kyron a second and the 109 to get a Jahmyr Gibbs and maybe, you know, a third, right? Like a second, whatever. That is something that I might be willing to do if that is possible. But
let's talk about White maybe.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Looking at Rachaad White here.
Something I mentioned in our video, if you can get anywhere from the 108 to the 112, I would take that personally.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. With pivot options for Rachaad White, personally, I love the names like James Cook. I love the names like Josh Jacobs, David Montgomery. I think Rachaad White can also, where you can get more in return, names like Derrick Henry. And we both like Derrick Henry. I personally like Joe Mixon a lot coming into this year as well.
I'm not with you there, but I'm with you so far on all the other names.
Yeah, those are some names that you can, like, we'll start and then we can kind of break it down, right? So let's go with.
I think Jacobs and Cook are probably straight up. You might have to pay a third for Jacobs, plus a third. But let's talk. What I want to hear your thoughts on are Monty, Henry, and Mixon. I'm with you on Henry and Monty and getting something in return to make that move. Love Mixon, but we'll talk about what's the plus there for the Monty Henry deal.
Let's have a look at this Monty team here. Trying to find Monty. David Montgomery. Yeah, baby. David Montgomery, team 11.
Okay.
Can I get a David Montgomery and can I get David Montgomery and Hollywood Brown? Is that too much? And I know we kind of just had a video of that as well, but in this scenario, another wide receiver that could potentially be added to this.
Okay.
And he's just like a plus player that can help you.
I'd try and flip Hollywood, but
yeah, and try and flip it. Like if he doesn't see the value in Hollywood Brown the way the community does, and he says, well, if he's really trying to sell him high, then I completely understand that. Who's the other guys here? Josh Jacobs. I'm trying to find Josh.
I would even say on top of the Monty thing, I love the idea of like a pick swap if it's possible. 25 second for your 25 first. If that's possible in a heartbeat, I'd take that.
Trying to find Josh Jacobs. Okay. Josh Jacobs here, team 7. He has James Cook, Devon. He needs to get rid of one of those guys potentially. Can I get Josh Jacobs and then, like you said, a pick swap?
Okay. I think you would have to offer the pick swap though. I think Jacobs is ranked ahead of White in most people's
Jacobs high
ranking. Yeah.
They're actually back to back on Keep Trade Cut. Or Jacobs is RB12 for Rashad White RB13. So that actually might be either an even swap according to Keep Trade Cut, or you have to give a second or third.
Yeah, I would love a straight swap there. I think that would be great.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry is super interesting because he's going to let us compete right now, and we feel good about him for the next 2 years. If you feel good about any running back for more than 2 years, I question where that confidence comes from anyway. Team 5 has Derrick Henry.
Yeah. The first thing that comes up to me, I love Jacoby Myers. I did a video about Jacoby Myers.
Okay.
But I also can see that he has the 110. What would that look like? Maybe that's too much. White for Derrick Henry.
How about the 206 and White for Henry and the 110?
Yeah, that's 206. I'm just doing this.
I also, like we have already said many times, I'm down for a pick swap as well if you can add that in there and get that done. What else you think?
I like that.
Henry? Anything else stand out?
You did do Jacoby Myers. Yeah, you did Jacoby Myers, which is good.
I also would love. Sorry to just jump in there. Like if we can get our hands on CD Lamb somehow, that's probably impossible. I was just thinking if we could use Garrett Wilson. This is probably too audacious, but is that even the right word to say? Rashad White plus Garrett Wilson for Henry and CD Lamb. But I'll also offer you like the 206. Would that even get us in the door? And Keep Trade Cut's silly little world that they live in. So help me out here. What did I put there? CD Lamb, Henry,
CD Lamb, Derrick Henry,
and I sent White
and White,
206 and Wilson. Is that right?
Yeah.
So yeah, you'd also have to add. What, that 306 is what he has?
And I will even add both seconds personally.
Yeah, I would do that too. Start with the 306. He has a 306, right? Yeah.
Yes, I think so.
And we would also settle easily settle for that other second too, if you need. That's a hot trade. Sorry, anything else?
None. The last one I said is Joe Moneybag Mixon. I like him. I think he can get a lot in return. I'm just looking for Joe Moneybags here.
Yep.
Team 12 has Joe Moneybag Mixon. Can I get Joe and... Can I send Joe and T? Can I get Joe and T for Rashad White, and I'll send both of those seconds. Maybe that's too much. Wonder what.
I think that's pretty fair.
Yeah.
Or at least we'll start a conversation.
Start a conversation. Rashad White, both of those seconds. You're really tearing down at the running back position, and you get another wide receiver. Joe Mixon, to me personally, feels really safe. I know they're going to bring in another running back, but that's always the expectation for the Houston Texans there. And I think he has a really good carve-out role for there with C.J. Stroud and the Houston Texans. So,
yeah, I think those are some good ideas. That is a lot of ideas. There's a lot of ideas. And if you want to wait until that video comes out, by the way, let me check our schedule. When does that video come out? Because we're about to release a video called, it's basically a sell high video. And it's the whole premise is to sell high certain players before the NFL draft.
yeah.
That video will come out on Sunday for you guys. So if you watch this review later and you want to wait to see our full takes on those players, that will come out on Monday. But that is definitely some ideas. Looking at his team, he's just set. Like, you are really set. I think we don't need to go too far into it, but Wilson and Olave are players that Badaki and I have been willing to pivot down from all offseason. That hasn't really changed. But your quarterback 2 need is going to get fixed in the draft, or quarterback 3, sorry. Your wide receiver room is going to get better in the draft. Your wide receiver is going to get drastically better in the draft. You're going to add running backs. You might add a Jatavion Sanders late second round. The draft is really your home, and even if you kept the same exact team here and you made the draft picks like we talked about, stick and pick, you're competing year one, no doubt. But I think just quickly to highlight, you and I think, are on the same page of pivoting down from Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave. And not because we don't like the players, just because it's just something that we feel comfortable doing. So, for example, if I can go from Wilson to London plus, I would absolutely be willing to do that. Mm-hmm. If I can go from Olave to a Waddle plus, I'd be willing to do that. Those are the kind of deals that I think you can kind of pursue. Also, DJ Moore plus. We've talked about that before.
Yep, we have.
Garrett Wilson. Is there another name that comes to mind? No, I think those are the main options I would be looking at doing. But yeah, this is a very good team. You clearly won your draft. You're clearly the dominant team in your league. And you're making good trades, so just keep making those good trades as you go. Definitely competing. Definitely going to be competing for a long time with the youth of this team. Appreciate
you. Thank you so much, Matty Ice. Make sure you use that fantasy hotline, which you do. You definitely use the fantasy hotline, but as you watch this, let us know any trades that come in. But we appreciate you, and thank you for the support.
I just need to find his Discord name that we had for him so I can send him this. What in the world? Oh, okay, yes. Matty Ice, I got you here, brother.
Ice.
Okay, here we go. Ice. And that is sent to your Discord. We appreciate you, brother. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the love. Little update. Like goal was 50 likes on today's stream. We're at 37, so we're 13 likes away. If y'all can do us a favor, help us get there. I love the chat right now. Soft pretzel, regular pretzel. Keep trade cut, can't live without it. Hot dog, hamburger, pretzel, who do you keep trade cut? They're super active in the chat. You love to see it. By the way, guys, if you enjoy these team reviews and when you want one for yourself, very simple. I'll put a direct link in the chat for you to sign up. All you need to do is become a Mother Flocker member with the promo code LAND. Once you sign up, I would suggest clicking instant access. But once you sign up, link your Discord in the top right. And you should instantly unlock all of the premium Discord channels we offer, including the roster submissions tab. But Baseycrown is next up.
Baseycrown is next up here.
And he's sending a league that he's in with us.
Yes, the Delta League.
So this will be fun.
This is going to be very interesting here. I'll read it. 12 team. Yeah, start now. We know the settings here. Mistakes have been made. Happy to be an example of why you never go all in. Cash in last year to make a run at the ship and failed. Sent 24 first, which is now the 102, and the 25 second to get Kelsey from El Tigre. Sent what is now the 101 to get DK Metcalf from Billy and the Kid Springs. Gosh, but did get what is now the 212 back on that one, and we're not done. Also sent Michael Pittman in his second, now the 202 to get Eckler.
Oh no!
Season injuries were Chubb, Jones, Cup, Eckler. Still made the playoffs and got fourth those, so 1 win away.
Wait a second. Champion. Didn't you send Olave for Daniel Jones too? Is that the same league I'm thinking of? Keep going. Sorry.
I'm not sure. So 1 win away from the champs. The hole has also been dug through. My roster is old, and I'm still contending this year. That dashing, strong Joel Pirates hack has my first and 25, so no rebuild. Also have 1 trade out there right now, a 24 first for Jerry Judy sitting in Badaki's inbox here. 24 second.
All right, well, this will be fun. Maybe we can get a real deal done if something makes sense.
You want Jerry Judy?
So, Delta League. And wouldn't you know it, your boy Zachary Savage, CJ is my DJ, ranked number 1. Yes, I'm in this league. What's your team name here?
Time to pivot. I'm rebuilding. This is a terrible team for me.
Let's see. Time to pivot. Where are we?
I'm number
team
10. I think. Time to pivot. I got no quarterbacks. I got Saquon. Hey, you want Saquon?
Me?
Yeah, you got it first?
I don't think I need Saquon, but maybe. I got Achan and ETN.
Nah, yeah. Oh, wait, Cold
I
Blood
got the
Killer?
109, maybe.
Aren't you Cold Blood Killer?
No, I'm CJ is my DJ. We got Stroud, Herbert, Young. We got Achan, ETN. We got Jefferson, Puka, Olave, Flowers.
Yeah, send me the 109.
Sheesh.
Anyways, okay, looking at
just a little
looking at Casey's team 11 over the Hill Heroes, quarterback Jared Goff, Danny Jones, Geno Smith, Jake Browning. Looking at this, not the best starting quarterback room. You have to hope and believe that Daniel Jones and the Giants don't get another running back, so you can quarterback, so you can at least have 3. If not, it's going to be Jared Goff and Geno. Running backs are Bijan Robinson, Nick Chubb, Raheem the Dream, Austin Eckler, Miles Sanders. Raheem the Dream was the savior for you last year, guaranteed. When Nick Chubb went down and you got Raheem. Miles Sanders and Ezekiel Elliott. So you do have some guys that could, if Raheem plays somewhat remotely the same as last year, you got Bijan Robinson and Raheem the Dream. Wide receivers, DK, Mike Evans, Devonta Adams, Cooper Kupp, Deontay Johnson, Jalen Hyatt. The list goes on there. It is a start 4 wide receivers, if I'm not mistaken, in this league.
Yeah, we had a vote to extend it to start 10, but the guy, they didn't want the heat.
They didn't want the heat.
They didn't want the heat. They stayed start 9.
They was scared.
And
then tight end Sam Laporta, which is phenomenal. And you're asking, you just want us to look at your team, Casey, or
let's talk about
how can we help you?
Well, here's the thing. He wants to know what we would do if it was our team, but we're also in the league with him, so it will be interesting. If you had this team, do you think you would feel like you should compete?
No. Because I don't have if I had a quarterback too, this is what I would say. If I had a quarterback too, I would be in a different mindset.
Okay.
And be like, oh, okay, maybe there's a chance, but no.
So if you had this team, from what I'm hearing, you would probably try and tear it all down.
100%. I'm selling Jared Goff for whatever I can. I'm selling Bijan Robinson for whatever I can. I'm selling any of these wide receivers that I can.
He says, what can we do with Kelsey or Laporta? Kelsey's a tough sell right now. Laporta, you could get a late first, I imagine, absolutely for him. But you don't need to sell Laporta, by the way. Like, just because you're rebuilding doesn't mean you need to send away the young tight end 1 in Dynasty. I mean, that can be a pillar for you. Kelsey is going to be an easier sell in season than right now, I think. But, yeah, when DK is your number 1, when Daniel Jones is your number 2, it might be time to start looking at a reset. I mean, shit, you might need to look at pivoting off of Bijan. You could look at pivoting off of Laporta. I might be a good freaking option here. CJ is my DJ might be a good option. We might have something that we could cook up. I got the 109. I'm a whore.
Nah, you want Saquon, brother. You want Saquon.
I'm a whore for keeping my first round picks in future drafts, so I don't think I could look at that, but I'm sure we could work something out. Maybe not. But
You want Saquon.
I think if this was my team, let me take my own bias out of it and tell me if you feel differently, Badaki. It's pivot city, and I'm trying to sell.
Oh,
I'm pivoting off of Goff for what? I can't pivot off of Daniel Jones, so he is staying on my roster, and I'm praying to the good gods that somehow I sell him in season. I'm pivoting down from Bijan Robinson because I don't think I have a scenario in which I can compete right now. Can I get a second for Mostert in season? How about Chubb? Can I get a second for Eckler right now? For DK Metcalf, what kind of first-round pick can I get? In what draft can I get that pick? Now, you said you don't have your own 25 first. You said I have it, but I don't think I do. Unless this is tripping.
What's you tripping, my guy?
Because I don't actually think I have it.
Who has it? Let me see. I'm looking at the app right now.
Unless I traded it away.
Oh, I can't really see it here.
He says you have maybe you have my 24. Yeah, I have your 24. So who has your 25 first?
Your 25 first. I can see your 26 first, which is Marvin Harrison. Welcome home.
25 second is with Don. Don is really good at keeping at building up draft capital.
Yeah, Don is always trying to send me a trade. Over the hill, 25 first. The AR Revolution. 25 first.
So sorry. What's AR?
Daniel Macy has it.
Daniel Macy has it. Yeah. Okay.
GG's.
Well, Macy is a very smart player. You're probably not getting that back. But yeah, here's the difficult part: is you don't have your own first round pick. Macy's probably loving this, right? He's like, yeah, rebuild, do it. But maybe Macy doesn't watch it. I mean, if I could get my 25 first back from Macy somehow, that would be my #1 goal. Should we go to the whiteboard here?
Let's go to the whiteboard. I mean, I'm looking at my team now. I'm sending out trades.
Can my #1 goal here is, can I get my
gosh.
25 first back? Do we have our 26 first at least? I can't remember.
Yeah, I think he does. No, he doesn't. He doesn't.
Okay. Who has our
does not.
26 first then? Help me find that here. I'm looking at the actual sleeper.
26 first is Marvin Harrison Jr.
What's the
Welcome home.
person's name?
The person's name. Let's see.
It's Billy.
Oh, GG's. That's another one.
Billy's got it.
You're done. 2027, Casey.
I'm just kidding.
2027.
He says I've got my 2027 though. Okay, so 25 first and 26 first. How possible is it to get those guys back? I would send any combination of like Metcalf, Evans, Kelsey as like a starting point. Do you know what I mean? Like Metcalf, Evans, Kelsey. I would do a package where I would include Bijan. Like I would include Bijan to try and. I would include Bijan to try and like start a conversation at least. Like for example, Bijan, who has your 25 first again? Can you remind me? We know that
25.
Billy has your 26 first, so let's just say Billy for example.
It was Daniel Macy. It was Daniel Macy. Be sure.
Can I get? I'll send you Bijan, Billy. I want my 26 first, and I want Javonte Williams, and I want Tank Dell.
Yeah.
Is that doesn't feel like enough. I wonder what Billy would think about that. What does old Keep Trade Cut say?
What's up, keep trade cut say, huh?
Tank Dell, 2026 first, and Javonte. I'd actually just take Javonte out of that altogether. I don't care about Javonte. I'm not going to try and build around Javonte. So instead of Javonte, Billy, can you give me some seconds to revive my team? Do you know what I mean? Give me some of these seconds. Billy has so many seconds. He can surely cash in on some of these. Give me the 203. Give me the 208. And maybe your third. I need to take some hits in the second round for this team. Like that kind of deal, at least you get your 26 first back. You get a bunch of shots in the second round of a really good class, and you get Tank Dell, which you can start to build around the wide receivers on your team. Okay, so we talked about his 26 first. Who has his 25 first? What are some options there?
I'm pretty sure it was Daniel Macy.
Daniel Macy.
The AR. He has his 20.
So like even if Macy was willing, like give me some foundational pieces. Can I get actually we're trying to get our first back. That's what we're trying to accomplish here, right? I want my 25 first. I don't know if this is going to work. Yeah, this might not work. Macy's not going to give you Tua or A-Rich. He's got the 110 and the 111. He's not going to part with his quarterbacks. Yeah, this isn't a good fit, man.
I think you're in a tough spot. I think
I would take, if you can get Metcalf for your 25 first, I would do that. Sorry, if you can get your 25 first for Metcalf, send him Metcalf from your team. At least you can control if things fall apart.
Yeah, makes sense.
Or even like a combination of like Kelsey and Cup. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
Now, Casey says things will fall apart. Great book. Casey, I'm here. I'm in your league. We don't need to talk about hypotheticals.
Talk about it, Casey.
Let's look at my team. What makes sense in your opinion, Casey? I'm gonna stand up here.
Well, Zach's serious now.
I'll tell you what I'm looking for. If you want to tear it down, you don't have to. But the names that I want to talk about are Bijan Robinson, Sam Laporta, and also I like Raheem Mostert as a cheeky little buy. He says you didn't like my CJ trade. I think we both know neither of us would have accepted that trade, though. It was CJ, and I get Goff and Metcalf. I just didn't want to do that. But I love Bijan. I like Laporta. And I like Mostert as a depth piece for my team. So where does the deal lie for us, Casey? That's what we have to find out. Where does a deal lie for us?
I know where a deal lies for us. 109 and Saquon Barkley.
I feel like I was trying to buy Saquon from you in a couple of leagues, and you just weren't replying to trades.
That was
in season, though.
Yeah, that was in season when I had a whole bunch of other pieces that I was hoping for this team to compete, and then it fell through as well. Casey
says, what if we were saying screw it and go all in one more year? I mean, you can. There's no reason why you can't do that. The only thing is you are betting on Daniel Jones and Geno Smith being starters.
Yeah.
You got to make that decision. Do you want to make that bet? Here's the thing, though. Like, to be fair, between Bijan, Chubb, Mostert, and Eckler, you will have a RB1 and someone as your RB2. Your wide receiver room, you can piece something together as long as some of these guys don't die from old age. And you got Kelsey and Laporta. You could do it.
You like Russell Wilson?
Do you want to buy Russell Wilson?
You like Russell Wilson?
You like Jazz?
Do you like Jazz?
I
got big old Russ, starting quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. You know what? I'll do the Jerry Jeudy trade just because I love you, Casey. 212 for Jerry Jeudy.
He said, what you want for Russ? The 212 for Jerry Jeudy. All right. Let's get it done. Let's start some momentum here.
Let's start some momentum. Accepted. This is for the cause.
Here is an idea I'll throw out into the world, and I don't know how I feel about it either. But
you should refresh and see if he has Jerry Jeudy on his team now. By the way, out of curiosity,
I think he would have Jerry Jeudy because it looks like you guys just completed that deal.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. I wonder if you refresh it on Keep Trade Cut if it's going to show Jerry Jeudy.
Let's see.
Just wondering how fast.
Trade goes down. Badaki gets the 2. Is that the 212?
Yeah, 212.
212. Casey gets Jerry Jeudy.
There you go. Some more depth there.
There you go. So, yeah. I'm not a Jerry Jeudy guy, but
look at you winning the trade.
Wait, where's his team?
Team 11.
So he's team 10 now. You're now worse than him. Get wrecked.
Get wrecked. You're moving on up, Casey.
Wrecked.
You're moving on up.
So the idea that I have, Casey, tell me if there's a Bijan deal out there that makes sense in your opinion, okay? But Laporta and the 109 feels like a baseline for us. It's not a tight end premium. What does this deal look like in your mind? Now, the reason I say this, I don't want Kelsey. I'd rather have Jake Ferguson on my team. But the reason I say this is the 109, if you want to compete, you will have Travis Kelsey. And you can use that 109 if you want to go get a quarterback. If you want to go get another wide receiver in the draft. Maybe you want the Bills starting wide receiver if that's Mitchell. I don't know. You can do whatever you want with it. He says he has Laporta over Bowers by a lot. Well, I'm asking you if there's wiggle room here. If there's no deal, there's no deal. That's just the end of it, right? But is there wiggle room for a deal to be done? If the answer is no, we don't have to explore it. But I thought I'd ask there. The 206. I don't mind Deontay Johnson. I just don't need Deontay Johnson on this team. Like I said, we didn't go to start 10. I wanted to go to start 10 in this league, but y'all scared. So I'd rather just keep the 206 there. Do you want to take a shot on one of these quarterbacks? I'm not going to sell Bryce, Justin, or CJ. But if you want to take a shot on a Howell, an O'Connell, a Brissett, a Locke, is there a deal out there for us?
You see what he's doing, guys? See what he's doing?
What am I doing wrong? I'm giving him inspiration here if there's a deal out there he wants to pursue. But to be honest, I'd rather have all these guys I've highlighted over DK Metcalf, so I don't think Metcalf is someone I'm really interested in.
You like Drake London?
Yeah, I like Drake London. But Aki's using this team review to try and trade me players. I would be interested in like a Saquon Mayer for the 109 deal.
Saquon and May for the 109?
Mayer, yeah.
I don't think that's a bit much. I think the 109 is pretty even for say.
Yeah, but
you need a tight end.
I have Jake Ferguson. I just like Michael Mayer. I've been telling people to buy him a lot. London, why? What are you thinking with London?
There's nothing for me on your team with London, personally. Yeah. Unfortunately, I can't pivot unless you give up one of your quarterbacks, which you're not going to do. Which is it's just impossible.
Yeah. Wade says he's trying to add a team to the website. If you're talking about the My Team section on Flock Fantasy, there in the Discord, there is a in setup, there's a My Teams issue. So check that out there if you like. Casey says I could tear down to Russ. So he's talking to you now.
You want to tear down to Russ? How would that look like?
I'm wondering who he's trying to tear down with.
Like, are you going to give me Daniel Jones or something? To be honest, I don't want any of the players. I mean, you don't even have the picks that I want either, unfortunately.
What would you... Saquon for the 109. I just don't know if I need Saquon, to be honest. Would Goff get you T-Law plus? I doubt in most leagues he would. I still have Trevor Lawrence over him, but I don't know who has Goff in this league. I don't think they would be willing to do it, or Trevor Lawrence.
Well, he has. It's sorry. Let's say he has. What's it?
Trevor Lawrence is Ravenger. I don't think Ravenger would do that from my talks with him, but I could be wrong. Casey says, I'm not the prettiest girl at the dance at the moment. Casey, if there's any deal you want to pursue with me, let's talk about it now. Just say, Zach, I don't want to pursue a deal with you. If that's it, that's fine. I won't even try. If there's a deal you want to pursue with Badaki, say, Badaki, let's pursue this deal. And then we can talk it out. But again, if we're giving you unbiased, I don't personally think this team is winning. I would not bet on Daniel Jones or Geno Smith as my quarterback 2 on a championship winning roster. But you can absolutely go into the season. Maybe you pivot from Laporta in season. You start to win some games. Maybe you pivot from Bijan. You tear down. To me, if I'm you, I'm trying to tear down from Bijan Robinson. That's my number one goal to try and improve this team. I'm trying to stay in that range of like a Gibbs, a Brees, a CMC would make sense for you in a tear down to JT.
A Saquon?
A Saquon would, but you need much more than Saquon. You need much more than Etienne, much more than Achane, but those are definitely conversations that you could have. To me, he is really the one piece on your team outside of Laporta that people want. People want Goff, but you can't get rid of Goff. You need Goff. But if I wasn't in this league and I just looked at this team, Badaki, I would say I would blow it up.
Yeah. That's unfortunate. Casey just sent me a trade. Oh, sorry. I'm keeping my 25 first, brother. I'm on a pivot. I'm the worst person to trade with because I'm pivoting too. My team is literally called Time to Pivot. So I'm not trading away my picks, unfortunately. If anything, I'm trying to sell my players high like Saquon and Drake London.
Yeah. I'll give Casey I'll give you like the 406. And I don't know. The 406 plus what equals Raheem Mostert? I mean, if you're competing, would you do the 406 and Brissett?
Yeah. Well, sorry, I'm not going to run the trade.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of a deal here. You have Daniel Jones. Do you want Drew Lock? Raheem scores points. Well, it sounds like Casey is wanting to compete. So if that's the direction he's going to go, he's got to look for values from teams that are not looking like they're going to compete. But yeah, when those 27 picks hit, I would not sell them. Because I think that's what Casey's going to be tempted to do. Or the draft is going to be over, and then I got a first round pick again.
Yep, 100%.
In 2027. Cold dead hands for those 2027 picks. Yeah. The Daniel Jones Chris Olave trade really hurt you. I remember that last year. And look, I thought Daniel Jones was going to have a good year. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah, I mean, he got injured, which is unfortunate.
The Pittman-Eckler trade definitely hurts, too. Hey, at least you drafted Sam Laporta. Didn't you?
Sam Laporta.
Badaki just sent me a trade.
Saquon for the 109. Pretty even. That's an even trade, man. Devon's injury prone. If he goes down, who do you got? You tell me. Who do you got when he goes down?
Would you rather have Drake London or Chris Olave?
Oh, you know that answer.
I don't. I'm asking.
I would rather have Drake London.
You'd rather have Drake London?
Yeah.
Dude, your team sucks.
I know. Time to pivot. Unlike Casey though, I got my picks. So I'm feeling good.
He sent his 26 first for Laporta. Okay. Yeah, DJ going down definitely would have hurt you there. I don't know, dude. I have ETN and Achan. I just don't feel like I need Saquon.
In season, the price is going to be higher. Just remember that.
Is it?
When Saquon's a top guy behind one of the best offensive line and Devon is out for 4 games, he's saying, damn, I need to go get somebody.
I am interested in this deal, but I want Michael Mayer in it.
Michael Mayer's just like... Michael Mayer's like a piece I can build around, though, you know? That's why I'm hesitant on selling him.
If it was Saquon and Mayer, you would need what? I feel like you're a team that could take a shot on like Hal with the position you're in.
No, I'm not. I'm okay with not having a quarterback here because I know I'm not going to be good. So if Russell Wilson, like, I'm okay not to have, if that makes any sense. Hold on, I'm just looking at my stuff. So I received a 109.
Mm-hmm.
And then Saquon. I think it will probably have to be. The thing is, like, I think Michael May is worth more than that 206.
Oh, okay. Then we won't get a deal done.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think I will be okay with the 206. I'm just saying, I just think he's a little bit more, but I'm willing to potentially do that trade. Like, if that is that what you were offering, the 206?
No, I wouldn't offer the 206 for Mayer right now. I don't think anyone's paying the 206 for Michael Mayer right now.
Okay.
Am I wrong though?
No, I don't.
Non-tight end premium. No,
I don't think it'll be far. I don't think it'll be far off, but
yeah, I wouldn't do it. But sorry, Casey. I wish there was better news. Like I said, I think your main goal should be trying to acquire your first round picks back. That's what I would do if I had your team. But I understand if you're like, screw it, I want to see what happens in season. I'm going to try and compete again. So, Casey, I want to make sure, like, was there any questions that we didn't answer that maybe you would have wanted us to answer? He says, I enjoyed the roast. Yeah, we try our best. But, yeah. Let us know if there's anything that we didn't answer here. Hey, look, I mean, Jerry Jeudy, Deontay Johnson, those guys could develop and not develop, but like those guys could be solid flex options this year.
guarantee it.
Your running back room isn't atrocious at all. To be honest, if you just had a better quarterback too, you would definitely be in a better spot. But I don't know. Could you move Kelsey if you want to keep Laporta for a low-level quarterback? Our leagues are pretty sharp, so I think keep, trade, cut is almost pointless at times to use. But I want to know where Kelsey is in the scheme of things. Kelsey, quarterbacks around him, Baker Mayfield. There's no way you could get that deal done. But if you can get a Cousins, a Baker, that's a no-brainer. A Levis, that is a no-brainer for you to do.
It's a no-brainer.
Again, we said Kelsey for any of Baker, Levis, What was the other name there? That was adjacent values. Definitely Watson. What the hell? Cousins? Yeah. That would be your ideal scenario, I think. But tough spot to be in. Tons of fun. Getting the live trade done with Judy was big. I'm going to get a deal done for Russell Wilson. Don't worry. I like the Baker option, except I traded Baker for Mostert at the start of the season. Damn, bro. To be fair, before the season, no one thought Baker Mayfield was worth very much.
Yeah.
But Casey's been really unlucky so far.
The reason I think we were like a big advocate of selling Baker, it was because like, you know, I remember the beginning of last season, it was like, who's going to have the number 1 pick? It was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Felt like it, yeah. They proved a lot of people wrong.
They went to the playoffs. That's just unlucky.
Yeah.
That's just unlucky.
Let me see here. I'm gonna send this to you, Casey, in case you want to keep this. Maybe don't, but I'm gonna send it your way. But we appreciate you, brother. Sorry it wasn't a better review. I'm open to trades though. Send them my way. All right, and the last team that we are gonna look at tonight is Bradley Bills fans. So we are gonna have a look at his team, and then we will wrap up the stream. We'll try to get through as many as we can tonight. Do you want to read the context for us?
Yeah, we'll go for that.
Appreciate you, Casey. Oh, update on our like goal. Our like goal was 50. We're at 46, so we're just 4 likes away, which is awesome. Also, if anybody wants their team reviewed by us, it's very simple. All you got to do is become a Motherflocker member with the promo code LAND. I'll put a direct link in the chat for you in case you do want to sign up. When you sign up, you get everything you see here on your screen: our rookie report, a Dynasty team review, unlimited access to the trade calculator, a personalized DM from us, our complete rankings. You get to be a part of our Dynasty trade show that happens every month, unlimited access to our Discord, and of course, you're supporting Padaki and myself while getting all those perks in return. But the next team here, Bradley Bills fan. Let's hear the context here.
Yeah, SuperFlex, full PPR, 4-point passing touchdowns to start 10. 3 wide receivers, 2 flex, 15 bench spots, and 3 taxi spots. Says I'm thinking I need to be a real rebuild with this team. I just took it over this year about a week ago. I'm still trying to learn my league mates. According to Keep Trade Cut rankings, I'm in the middle, and the one trade I did was a trade for McBride. I let my fanboy take over some. I traded away Hawkinson in the 310 for McBride.
I love that.
Yeah, that's a good trade.
That's a great trade.
I tried trading for Kincaid, and I felt like I was close to getting him, but Diggs got traded, and he wanted way too much, in my opinion. Okay, so more of a rebuild team. You can start up to 5 wide receivers here to start 10. Dog of the North is his team for Billy.
Yeah, let's put this into the chat.
Or Bills
so we can
fans,
reference this if we want. So yeah, like you said, start 5 wide receivers at a time. Dogs of the North, is that it?
Dogs of the North. So he's team 2 currently.
Hey, you've done a good job.
Keep trade cut. Yeah, but there's a huge drop off here from team 1 to team 2.
Yeah.
Just looking at this team, the team is not crazy. Anthony Richardson, Gardner Minshew.
He's about to get Caleb.
Yeah. Yeah. Bijan, Brees, Rashad. Yeah, it's a decent team. All right. At the quarterback position, Patrick Mahomes, Baker Mayfield, Drew Lock. It's not terrible. Having Baker there, getting a contract extension really helps you tremendously.
Yeah.
But you still have the 105, which could also be another quarterback. We're looking at the depth as well. Not the best depth. 105 could be an option. Running back, GG's. Zamir White, Zach Charbonnet, Aaron Jones. There's nothing there for you to really build off around the running back position. Now, we can talk it up a little bit. Zamir White, if they don't draft another running back, he could be the starting guy. Zach Charbonnet, Aaron Jones is started. Zach Charbonnet, who I believe can definitely be, a 50-50 workload there with a new regime coming in now that Pete Carroll's no longer the head coach for the Seahawks, which is crazy to say still. But yes, some there could be light at the end of the tunnel, or it can be dead in the next couple of weeks at the NFL draft. The wide receiver room, once again, you can start up to 5. Zay Flowers, Deebo Samuel, Christian Watson, Shakira, Mike Williams, I would say, are your potential starting 5. Maybe even throwing Adam Thielen in there. But this is also a very weak wide receiver class of room here. I would say your top 3 wide receivers, Zay Flowers, Deebo Samuel, Christian Watson, are really the 3 guys you're leaning on going into the season, where everyone else, there's not much there, unfortunately. And then at the tight end position, Trey McBride and David Njoku.
Is that a tight end premium?
It's not a tight end premium.
So the first thing
4-point passing touchdowns.
I think a lot would need to go right for you to compete this year. Here's the thing, like, your quarterback room is fine to compete. You don't have a QB3, that sucks. Your running back room, I can paint a picture where you have a startable running back room, Zamir White and Aaron Jones. Your wide receiver room is where things are really tough, because really Flowers and Deebo are the only players that we would feel comfortable starting. Watson could recover. Shakir's a fun idea, but they're going to draft a wide receiver. And neither of these guys would be in our top 15 of our Dynasty rankings, right? So it's tough to picture with your wide receiver room you really competing. But I think a pivot down from Mahomes and potentially moving Njoku could put us in a position, combined with the 105, to compete this year. But you're also in a position where I would be comfortable pivoting off of Mahomes, trading Njoku away, trading Aaron Jones away, trading maybe Baker Mayfield if we wanted to, trading Deebo.
I think it's a full reset. Yeah, I think it's a full reset here. That's where I would go. Because you have the 105, and I think that quarterback room could definitely be solidified here at the 105 if you keep Patrick Mahomes. And you have Baker Mayfield, and you have these 3 quarterbacks that you're building around, and then you just go best player available as we kind of get into it. And you have 225 first, by the way.
Who's Roadrunner? Because he has Roadrunner second and first.
Roadrunner is Team 6. Lamar, Kyler, Brock, Jalen Waddle, Chubb, Tank Devontae. So he'll probably have a middle of the pack type of team potentially there.
That team's in the playoffs, I think. Yeah. Depending on how the wide receiver room goes. But
it's interesting because, like, why is he ranked lower? Anyways, probably because of the draft picks.
Yeah, maybe. All right, well, let's talk about those options then. Okay, I think we should play out 2 options. I think option 1 is pivot to compete. All right. And I think option 2 is hit the reset button. And we'll talk through both of these options. Okay. So,
yeah.
Do you want to talk about hit the reset button first? That maybe makes more sense.
Yeah, that makes more sense. Let's be the longer one here. All right, hitting the reset button. Kind of the names that you've mentioned here already. Patrick Mahomes is somebody. Oh well, I don't know how you feel, but I feel like is hitting the reset with Patrick Mahomes.
To me, if I was to reset, even if I was to compete, I'm trying to use Mahomes to tear down and get capital. Either way. So if we're hitting the reset, that includes him. I want to stay strong at quarterback, but tear down from him and feel good. So
okay, yeah, I'm happy to listen to that.
But I'd also put Baker in there if we're not going to plan on competing in the next 2 years, which don't want to wait that long. I really think you're like a 1-year punt away almost.
Well, that's the thing, because if I look at the 25, well, once again, I don't know as much as the 25 class, but from what we've been hearing, not the strongest quarterback room. So if I can keep Patrick Mahomes and hopefully get a quarterback at the 105, and keep Baker, that's like a really good foundation at the quarterback position. And then but then we have limited selling options.
So let me just clarify: we are not moving Mahomes, in my opinion, unless we get a quarterback and draft capital that we like.
Sure. Okay.
Right?
That's good.
So
As long as we're on the same
no
page.
matter what option we're pursuing, Mahomes is staying on the roster unless we can tier down and get draft capital. There is a huge amount of quarterbacks, though, I would tier down to, and all of them would bring a different amount of draft capital in return. So if we look at the community rankings, the tier down is Lamar, Hurts, Burrow, I would throw in Herbert there, Kyler, A-Rich, Love. I would even be comfortable pivoting out to T-Law and getting a bunch in return. Like that, it's all going to depend on what the return is. Purdy, I would tier down to. Tua, I would tier down to. Of course, those are going to be plus, right?
Yep.
Some of these players, you're expecting a huge plus in return, but we don't want to be too weak at quarterback. We want to keep those guys. So this is the way I'm viewing it in my head: a Jordan Love plus, an A-Rich plus, a Kyler plus, a Herbert plus, right? All these guys. But if we're going down to the tier of T-Law, Purdy, Tua, we need significant in return. So why don't we just go in order? Lamar. Who has Lamar?
Okay, let's find out.
Team 6 has Lamar.
Runner. He has Lamar and Brock Purdy.
I'm not sure he would feel a need to pivot down.
Agreed.
But let's just throw this out there. If you can get Lamar and his 25 first, would you do that?
Yeah, and he has team 11 to 25 first.
This guy does?
Yeah, Roadrunner has
Okay.
Jalen and Jalen's and Sons LLC is 25 first, which could be intriguing because he's team 11.
Yeah, I would do that too. That's going to give us a quarterback we can still build around, but we are still getting a foundational quarterback and future capital, right? All right, so Mahomes and Hurts. I don't really know if... Look, we'll explore. I don't think there is a pivot down there for Hurts.
No, because Hurts needs another quarterback and he doesn't have draft capital. He has Aaron Rodgers, Tyrod Taylor, Nick Mullins, so not ideal.
Yeah, Hurts isn't going to work.
I think Jordan Love could be.
Well, let's just go in order. That way we don't miss anyone. How about Burrow? Who's a team who has Burrow? Burrow's getting a little disrespect right now, man.
I'm trying to find Burrow. Where the hell's Burrow?
Burrow is team 3.
Okay.
I mean, would you do like Burrow and the 110 and the 112? What would Keep Trade Cut say about that? We're saying that is even, but you can always get a premium for a Mahomes. I would do that.
Yeah, I would do that as well.
All right, how about Herbert? Herbert's a great name right now. People are really, really disrespecting him.
Yeah, well, I said Herbert feels like a tough one to pivot off to because this guy doesn't have draft capital, and he doesn't have a strong QB too. So I feel like
that's fair. What about like a Herbert and Kyron? Maybe that's a deal for like if you are trying to compete.
Sure. Yeah, because we have the trying to compete section.
Let's throw that one up there as an option. You might be able to get even more than that though. Mm-hmm. Probably Kyron and like Mike Evans maybe. We got to remember for the deals that Mahomes goes for, but I think that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
How about Kyler? Who has Kyler?
Kyler, I think it's the same guy as
the Purdy owner.
Lamar owner. Yeah.
Okay. So give me Kyler and how about Kyler, Dell, and that first?
Sure. That works as well.
Yeah, that would be actually my favorite one. I'd prefer that over the Lamar deal. All right, A-Rich.
Anthony Richardson is team 1, if I'm not mistaken. He has Anthony Richardson, Gardner Minshew. He has the 101. So, I mean...
You can't get the 101 and A-Rich, unfortunately, but...
Nah.
What about, like, A-Rich, London, and the 111? That might be too much.
I think that would be too much. I think, like, A-Rich and London will probably be an even deal, because the way London is valued at the moment.
Okay. Yeah, I don't mind that. We can flip A-Rich if you don't want to build around him.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I feel like you should get more than just A-Rich in London, though. What about, like, the 201 or the 208?
Sure.
All right, who else? Who else you want to talk about? Love? Jordan Love?
Yep. Jordan Love. I'm trying to find him right now.
And by the way, that guy's name is Chiefs Elite. So, actually, if his name is Chiefs Elite, send it with the 111 first. And if he doesn't go for it, settle for one of those second rounders.
Jordan Love, where are you? Team 10. Jordan Love to a Deshaun Watson. So he has CeeDee Lamb, AJ Brown.
Team 10, you said?
Yeah. Jordan Love and CeeDee. Jordan Love and AJ, maybe. He doesn't have any draft capital.
Yeah, that's a tough pivot. And you're probably not getting that deal done. But, like, would you do Love and CMC for the competing side of this?
Yes, because he needs running backs. That was like one of the weakest things.
Love and CMC. What would Keep Trade Cut say about that, I wonder? Yeah, they like that trade. Yeah, that's interesting. All right, how about down to T-Law? I know you don't like T-Law, but I'm saying we do this deal if we can get a big return.
Well, T-Law is interesting because T-Law one is tough because he has Trevor Lawrence, he has CJ Stroud, Joe Burrow, and Trevor Lawrence. So if I want to get Trevor Lawrence, I want that 104 and maybe that 110.
Yeah, and he's probably not going to do that.
He's not going to do that if he has those 3 guys. He's going to build around his team.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence isn't going to work out. Who else? Purdy? It's the same guy that has the other players.
Yeah, Purdy's in the same boat.
You got to get a big plus here for Tua.
Tua has the same team as Jordan Love, so he doesn't have a draft capital either. So then maybe Tua and CeeDee.
And CeeDee, I don't hate that. But I think, is it crazy to say I would need maybe more?
It just depends on how.
Tua, CeeDee, give me Swift. That is a competing move, though.
Yeah, that's a competing move, no question.
Okay. All right, so we talked about pivoting off of Mahomes. That's a lot of options there for you, depending on what option what scenario you want to go. What's up, Scoots? Is this your team, man? Let us know if this is your team we're looking at. No, this is Bradley Bill.
No, it's Bradley, yeah. Yeah,
Bradley Bill. I'm pretty sure his name is Bills Fan on YouTube. I could be wrong, though. But, all right. How about if we're resetting, what do you want for Baker? Any late first?
Baker? Yeah, what's Baker worth at first? Yeah, right? Well, 112, 111 is probably the highest you can go there.
Yeah. I think that's pretty simple. Debo, probably same thing, right? Same thing for both of these guys.
Oh, it's Joseph's team.
Joseph's here. Yeah, awesome.
Okay, awesome.
Joseph, feel free to interject as you go.
Yeah, let us know how you feeling about it. If you want to do that, if you're saying this is a waste of time because I don't want to do Patrick Mahomes, let us know.
Some people just don't want to move him, and I get it.
Yeah, 100%.
Njoku, you're probably getting a second at best, unless it's a tight end premium. I think it's not, right? No.
No, it's not a tight end premium. Yeah, second at best.
So, what's his range right now?
Let's see.
By the way, Joseph, really good trade for Trey McBride. I thought that was very impressive.
Apparently, 204 is his range.
204? Okay, 204 to 207-ish. Who has those picks?
Well, he has 205. He said I got 2 seconds for a Joker recently.
Oh.
Oh no, Wyatt. That's not Joseph Wyatt.
Oh well, that's. I mean, if you can do that, great. Joseph says I tried trading Patrick to the Chiefs team, but he said he wanted to stay young.
Patrick Mahomes is young. What you mean?
Yeah, that's a bit silly. This team's ready to compete. What's this guy talking about?
That's a Chiefs player that doesn't want to play the premium for his quarterback. Or Chief fan, sorry.
That's fine. We don't have to deal with him. There's so many other options out there. You could also get, if you can get multiple seconds like that guy got, then if you're rebuilding, that's ideal. So that is the scenario in which we blow it up. If we move Mahomes, Baker, Debo, David, and Njoku, the good news, we still have the 105, which will get a pillar. We still have Zay Flowers, McBride, and whatever quarterback we tier down to.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Mm-hmm. Aaron Jones as well, I would sell in season if you're going to do this. Right? Aaron Jones.
Yeah, Aaron Jones in season, no question.
Sell in season to the highest bidder.
Agreed.
Because he'll probably do pretty well in Minnesota. All right, so the other option, that's if you wanted to completely rebuild, and at the 105, if you're rebuilding, it's truly best player available, like a Daniels, a May, a Neighbors. You can't really go wrong there. And at the 205, again, best player available. That could be genuinely so many players. Brooks, Benson. You're thinking, wait, if I'm rebuilding, you want a running back? You can sell those guys in season. You can sell those guys when they start producing if you don't want to build around them. Wilson, McMillan. Remember Reed and Rice were all second-round picks last year.
Yeah.
Name the wide receiver you like here. What guys went in the second round that went to favorable spots? McConkey's probably too late at that point. Pearsall, comes to mind.
Yeah, Ricky Pearsall, Xavier Legette, Jalen McMillan, Roman Wilson, Malachi Corley. Those all those guys are going to fall within that 205 to that 210 range, and long and more. So you kind of just.
The good news for you in this league is that you are a true BPA at every single pick if you hit the reset button. Don't care if it's 4 running backs. Don't care if it's 5 wide receivers. True BPA all the way across the board. Now, if he wants to pivot to compete, we already talked about all these options here, moving off of Mahomes. If you're pivoting to compete, you're keeping Baker Mayfield. But you're pivoting off of Mahomes. Mahomes is the trigger to build out the rest of your team. So, like we talked about here, you go from Mahomes to Herbert, Kyron, Evans. So all of a sudden you've got Herbert, Baker Mayfield, you've got Kyron, Aaron Jones starting for you, and you've got Flowers, Samuel, Evans as your wide receivers, as well as whatever you do at the 105, right? Exactly. Those are the kind of moves if you're pivoting to compete. And I don't think the draft would change for you, to be honest. I wouldn't move the 105. You need to get an influx of youth in there, and that's an opportunity to get really, really, get really young at an important position.
Sure.
Joseph says, not going to lie, I'm just happy to have full access to your guys' rankings. I feel like it gives me a leg up on this league for sure. That's awesome, man. Yeah, that's great to hear.
That's amazing.
And a lot of people don't know this, but if you are a member with us, again, I'll put a direct link in the chat. Use the code LAND, become a Mother Flocker member if you want some of these services that we offer. But if you're a member, you can use our rankings in the trade calculator. The community rankings is very similar to Keep Trade Cut, and they'll be different, but like in the sense of like it's community sourced. It's based off what the community thinks. Thousands of questions, determine those rankings. But if you wanted to look at our specific rankings, you could look at the expert consensus rankings. So what all the experts across our website, across our team think. So yeah, that trade calculator is always very helpful, and you can customize it exactly to your league. So for example, for Joseph here, it's a start 10 full PPR SuperFlex league, and we've got the exact settings here. So for him, if this is his league, he's turning on SuperFlex. There's no premium, but there is PPR. It's a 12-man. He's starting 2 quarterbacks, 2 running backs. He's got 3 wide receivers in his starting lineup. He's got a tight end, 2 flexes. And now the algorithm of how we would rank players will automatically change for him as he looks at those deals. But yeah, if I'm pivoting to compete, I'm not moving the 105. I'm getting younger. And then same thing as before. The draft doesn't change much, to be honest.
Not at all. Not at all. I think you have plenty of options here.
Yeah.
This is a tough one. I think what's going to happen, in my opinion, for this team, it's all going to be based on what happens in season. If you wanted to compete and do pivoting moves, and then if that works out, that's fine. Because and a lot of this is also going to depend on the NFL draft as well. Zamir White, if they don't draft another running back, or if they get a running back in like the 6th round, right? What happens if the Bills don't draft a wide receiver and they want to roll with Shakira, Curtis Samuel, and Dalton Kincaid? Steps up, so just a lot of different ways this can kind of pivot and move for your team here. So
yeah, I agree. I am going to send this whiteboard to you now. That is sent over to you, so you can bookmark this stream. You can keep that in a document if you like, but that's never going anywhere, man. Let us know if there's any questions that we didn't answer that you did want us to answer. But by the way, Badaki, congratulations. We just reached 12,000 subscribers.
Oh, that's amazing. We appreciate you guys. That's cool. 12K on the dot.
Yep. 12,002 subscribers, which is cool.
12,002.
We'd love to hit 15K this year, but 12 is a huge milestone. That's awesome. That means across the board, if you think about our redraft channel and our Dynasty channel, we're at 25K in total.
Wow. That's crazy. Yeah.
That's pretty
12K.
sick.
Yeah, that's awesome. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for all the support. Everyone that's been subscribing, all the new subscribers as well, that's been coming on and supporting us. You guys have been a huge help.
Yeah.
To us and for us, obviously. And we're going to continue to grind out for you. But yeah, we appreciate you, whether you're watching now or later. Appreciate each and every one of you that's been here. And if you've been lurking, been watching, we appreciate you too.
That's right. There's never a wrong time to subscribe. We did reach our like goal, which is awesome. Thank you guys. We appreciate you big time. If Rides Jones is going to watch these streams at some point, you're up next, man. We just got to get some information from you. So hit us up in the DMs. But we did Tyler today, Matty,
What's up, brother?
Baseycrown. We did Bradley. We're also waiting for a reply from MVRCO. But up next, MVRCO, LB Jorge is up next as well, if I'm saying that right. So shout out to you guys for the next stream. We appreciate you big time. That will be on Thursday night when we are doing this again. So if anyone out there is watching and you want to get into the into the system, if you will, get your team reviewed by us, I'll put a direct link in the chat there. Become Motherflocker member. Use the code LAND. Hit instant access. You don't got to wait for that trial to end, and you'll unlock the ability for us to have us review your teams. Chef says, Badaki, are you a pro at changing diapers yet? Thinking when
1000%.
our day comes, I gotta get a stopwatch and see how fast I am, minus a bad blowout.
Yeah, nah, it gets easier and easier every single time. I mean, I guess experience, you can say. I had a lot of cousins and nieces and nephews and stuff like that, so I'm kind of used to changing diapers. But it gets easier. You get into a flow, nice little rhythm.
Yeah.
And we appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
And congrats to you. You said you're gonna. I'm thinking when our day comes, or either you're pregnant or not pregnant yet. Either way,
he's probably not pregnant.
Not you, but you know what I'm saying, like the couple.
Yeah. I'm kidding. We appreciate y'all. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. We'll see you tomorrow. I'll be on live stream tomorrow. I'm gonna ask the community right now if they want to do a startup or a rookie draft. Actually, I want to know from the people. Let me write this up now, actually, because I want to know what people think. What type of stream do you want tomorrow night? We'll do A equals Dynasty rookie draft, and B will be a startup.
Easy.
I want to know what the people want. So let me put that out there and make sure I give people the option to choose both. And if you're watching right now and you want to contribute to the vote, I'll put a direct link in the chat to our Discord where you can vote right there. He says December is his due date. Wyatt's got a 14-month-old, and I feel like a pro when it comes to diapers. You'll love to see it.
Zach's next.
No, I'm not. At least
it would
be an accident.
I'm believing, hey.
Yeah.
Do it on purpose. It's fun.
Appreciate you, Chris. All right, guys, that's it for today. We'll see you soon. All love.
Love.